give them the knowledge of how to do it, and the reality is they'll come back pretty fast.
And I'm another special guest with us today. Unfortunately, Carlos could not be joining us on this episode. He is out doing some of his own top secret funnel things, and he'll be joining us again, hopefully on the next one. But I have Mr. Mikado. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing awesome. Thanks. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. So thanks for coming on the call with me here today. I have a group for funnel architects, for people who build funnels. And it seems like you have one of those groups as well as not only serving those other people who build funnels, also business owners. Tell me a little bit about who you're serving specifically.
Yeah, so we have a couple different markets that we serve. We build funnels and do design for some of the Fortune companies. We've also done a lot for small business owners and for some coaches, consultants, trainers, and a lot of service-based businesses that are looking to grow the business, get into more professional networks, be able to grow through different types of funnels based on what their needs are.
Okay, yeah. And so when you're getting in front of these people that are in your group, and they're talking to you, they might be talking to you, they might be talking to some other specialists as well, and they want to know specifically what it is that you can do for them in contrast to maybe what some of the other people are going to do or what they plan on doing. So how do you position yourself in front of them as far as how you're going to deliver and what your unique selling proposition is going to be, and what can you do for them? Where's your place there in that marketplace, positioning in their eyes, if you will?
Yeah, so a lot of what I do is the strategy side of things. So we have a unique process. It's a 72-point process that we've developed from what we've learned from Fortune 500 companies that are making billions of dollars, as well as from highly successful coaches, speakers, trainers, consultants, and even some of the brick and mortar companies as well. We've researched Apple, Google, a whole bunch of different companies that are using a very similar process. Everybody has their own unique twist to it, but they all follow a very similar and linear process. And so we build that out, and then we have right now we have 20 people on our team that take what I strategize and turn that into a fully designed funnel, and so they build all the landing pages, they design the graphics. One of the few things that we don't do actually is copywriting. So we think and we believe that the company knows their copy better. Now, of course, we can help with kind of the preliminary stuff to help shorten their timeline, but we always recommend that they finalize copy because they know their business and they know their target market and customers, because that's who they work with on a daily basis more than we do.
Yeah, I recommend some of the same sort of things as well as when it comes to copy. And there's one side of things where you can go out and you can spend 10 grand on a sales letter by hiring a professional copywriter who's going to increase your conversions, and they're really good at what they do. But I think even somebody that you're paying like that, who's really putting a lot of thought into it, who's really putting a lot of formula into it, they still are, they can bring that side of things, which I think might be 50 or even less than 50% of the equation when it comes to successfully converting people. And the other side that is really what the client has to bring. And if they have to pay somebody to do that, it would probably cost a lot, because they have to research their marketplace, their competitors. They have to understand the company's positioning inside of that marketplace, why it is they're unique. And I usually recommend too that they go and actually have conversations with their customers, or at least with their prospective customers, and they actually get on the phone or they get on a call like this, like you and me having, and offer to do something in exchange for just a little market research, and really dig in and start to pull out the things that some of these people are finding frustrating, or that, the desires that are really inside their heart, why it is they want to accomplish, what it is that they need, or why, usually it's not the thing that you're selling. The benefit comes from how that's going to transform that person's life. Right. And so we need to dig those things out of the audience. And clients oftentimes need to bring that to the table. That's, if we're talking percentages here, I think that's actually 90% of the battle as far as conversions go, and why the copy is so, number one, important, and number two, probably should be handled by the client, perhaps with some assistance, like you said. So, that's good. The other thing you said when you were talking, that you have a team of 20 people on your side there. And so that's got to help. That's got to be a unique selling proposition as well, because, I have a couple people that I refer to. I have a small team, but I don't have anything in place quite like that. So as far as volume goes, you're able to handle a larger volume, and you're able to take care of more that way, and able to take on more that way. Can you talk to us a little bit about that, and about your I know you and I talked a little bit before, your ability to expand and take on new projects, so clients never have to worry about, having their project held up, right? Or having not delivered on time or anything like that.
Definitely. Yeah. We started out pretty, with just three of us. Technically it was my wife and I, and then we got a virtual assistant. She came in and basically started managing all my emails. I'd hired her from another company because I was tired of going through and trying to find quality people on Upwork and Freelancer, and Fiverr's the worst of all. And so we went and we said, let's just hire somebody internally who can take care of everything for us. And started to see the growth that happened as a result of that. We hired her out of the company that she was working for. So we had hired a VA company, and offered her twice as much in salary. She hired out a bunch of her friends who worked there, and it was kind of the start of our team. And now what we've developed is everybody works in three core areas at most. So they have their primary function, and then they have two secondary functions of what they can do in their business, or in our business, for us and for our clients. So they're not, for instance, our copywriter internally, and our graphic designer internally, and our web designer, and all of them, they don't do each other's stuff. Especially our web designer does not get on the phone, right? But people hire web designers, people who build their funnels, and they say, well, I want you to get on the phone with my clients too and schedule calls with them. That is one of the worst ideas possible. And so through that process, we developed and outlined exactly what they can do, how many hours they have, and we know how many hours we work with each of our clients. And we've kind of created a process where we generally speaking, we have anywhere between 40 to 60 kind of man hours, so to speak, available. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. But when we get below 40, we're let's start hiring faster. Let's start bringing in some people. And my GM, so the person I originally hired, I hired her out, and she now manages our team, and gotten to a point where she can't be the only manager. So we're building new managers. We're in the process of signing a contract with a recruiting company that they're also a school. So they actually train people, and we're going to have them add in a certification course from us, or at least that's part of the hopes. So we're trying to figure out exactly how to do this, so that they go through a course, they go through all their regular courses, and then they go through a course designed for us and for our clients. Then we can hire them out and pay them really well. And it's going to be a really kind of a win-win situation. So we can hire, super fast, because our biggest challenge at this point is actually hiring enough people fast enough. This week we've gotten probably 4 to 5 new clients, and a couple of those we're still kind of in the negotiation process. But that's like probably equivalent to 5 new people on our team that we need to hire for that. So it's intense, but it's also a lot of fun.
Yeah, and intense. I would tend to, just hearing you describe it, and based on the little experience I have of trying to find people, like you said, you had a lot of struggle in the beginning before you got to this point, right? Setting up all those people, trying to find people on Upwork or Fiverr, or trying to find somebody that's qualified. You eventually went to an agency to try to get some sort of help there. Found somebody that was really good, and then had to offer her, what'd you say, like 3 times what she was making?
Yeah, double what she was making,
yeah,
and I gave her basically $1,000 signing bonus.
Bonus,
yeah, which where she was, she's from the Philippines, so our team is in the Philippines. $1,000 in the Philippines at the time, that was half a year's wage. So I gave her a half a year's wage to come on, basically, and say, hey, look, and then we paid her. We started paying. She makes a lot more than what we originally started paying her when we brought her in. Basically said, okay, for every person you bring in, you're going to increase your wage by X number of dollars. And that's changed over time based on roles, responsibilities, and everything. But she's definitely, it's like people who were working with her before are like, wow, you're making more money than I make in a year, in a month, in some cases. Yeah. So it's like, it's insane that they're not paid very well, which is one of the reasons why we're changing how the system works out there, because it creates loyalty. They are being, we're training them as experts in a very limited number of things based on what they enjoy doing too. My team doesn't have a problem staying late most of the time. Obviously if they get family things or whatever they want to do, they can do that, and most of them enjoy, they'll work a lot later. So it's just been an interesting development. And one of our guys, we just came back from the Clickfunnels certification course. So I'll be getting my partner badge in a couple of days here. And we were hacking a whole bunch of funnels and in the hackathon, and built out some pretty cool stuff. And we actually have our own marketplace for Clickfunnels users, and that can be used to literally just put any kind of funnel into your own account, which is definitely something that I love doing, and I love the fact that we have a team who can actually go and build those. And I think we're at about 360 funnels right now at 1,600 pages built.
Wow. Yeah. So let's talk about that for a minute. So we've already gone over your team, and I just want to wrap that section up and say, what an endeavor and an expense and a journey it has been to bring those people on, to have such a thing be put in place, to be yours, to be in-house. And so there's a lot of consideration. We think about the audience, primarily who are listening to this are going to be people who are in a similar position to you and I, who build funnels, who have their own clients, that sort of thing. And so these are things that they're going to have to consider, whether or not they, have the resources even to start building a team like that. I would say, most of them probably don't, but, I think they got something. Anyone who's listening to this would get something out of, understanding what it took for that process, and actually being able to pay them well, and to develop them along the way, and to increase their roles and responsibilities, and to keep them happy, and to keep them on board, to keep that team strong. About you went over your ways that you can expand on that when you get down to a certain number of hours, because you don't want any projects to be late or anything like that. Your team is always expanding as well. So yeah, that's great things that we've got so far. And now we're getting into your ClickFunnels user, obviously, You've been out to, and are all of your funnels, just do we get that base covered, and are all of the funnels and pages and everything that you build, do you utilize ClickFunnels to build those things?
Yeah, we do at this point. We used to do lead pages and WordPress, and we've done, gosh, there's so many of them out there. Insta pages we've worked with for clients. There's I don't remember some of the other ones. They're kind of the one-shot wonders, but we've really migrated everything over to ClickFunnels, and we've actually built a lot of similar looking pages from lead pages into our database in ClickFunnels. So we are still lead pages users, mostly because they have a great base of templates. And their lead pop, or whatever it's called, the lead box basically thing. That thing works a little bit better than ClickFunnels does on certain types of websites. So that's one of the reasons why we use that.
Yeah, I love their educational marketing materials as well. If I need to send a client to get a fresher on funnels and how they work and how they're put together, they have some materials on that. They have some materials to get somebody up to speed on Facebook advertising. So just this free sort of library of information, and that's been beneficial. Even to sort of indoctrinate potential clients, to get them up where they need to be and understand what it is that they really want. Of course, ClickFunnels does that too in their own way once you're inside and they have some onboarding stuff going on. So yeah, this is great. So you mentioned that you've got you got the hackathon, you got 300 and some pages or funnels already hacked out, and you have your own marketplace. Where can people go to access this marketplace and get some of those resources into their own business so they can start using them?
Yeah, so it's hackthisfunnel.com, and let me do a little screen share here. So we've got all sorts of training. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, sure can.
Awesome. So yeah, we got this, basically a ton of different funnels. You might recognize this one. This guy right here. We've taken his funnel and redesigned it so that people can literally just import it into their ClickFunnels account. And this one is actually built by Russell Brunson's team, and it was Tony Robbins. We've got a bunch of other ones in here, and we hack funnels all the time. Some of them.
So you're showing the original one that you hacked, and then you're showing your hacked version there to the right. So original and then the replica.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Some of these are
those are
don't necessarily have the original. Yeah, it's a long sales form, but this guy, got a ton of JVs who promote for him. This one, might recognize that guy.
Yeah.
And it's all built and designed for converted, high conversions. And we've been adding so many more. I just go into my ClickFunnels account here.
And how long does it take you to do one of these?
I don't do them. I have a team for that.
Oh yeah. I mean, is there an investment of hours to get these funnels hacked?
Oh yeah. I mean, I closed out the page there, but we've got, if you can see on the side here, we've got 363. We've got almost 1,700 funnels built. Some of these are obviously share funnels, so probably 90% of these are ones that we built though. We just built a really cool one for here it is. And order page. So like this one's from Men's Health, for instance. was originally one from Men's Health. This is a funnel. This is actually what we built this last week at the Clickfunnels certified program, and loading very slowly here. So, I mean, like something like this. So the whole funnel took us about approximately 80 hours to build. But to hack this funnel originally, we took out a couple elements just because of how we didn't have a lot of time. But the original hack on this probably took 3 hours for the original page. And then putting all the content in, setting it all up, making sure that it works properly so that people could, go in, they could purchase from him and be able to go through this. This comes from a webinar, so we kind of thought outside the box here. And but it is an intensive process, and we've got I don't know how much of my screen you can see, but we've got probably close to 20 different Chrome extensions that we're using to be able to hack things and be able to figure out exactly what people are doing on their sites. So I mean, we can, I don't know how long we've got here, but if you want, I can actually hack a site for you guys in a couple minutes.
Okay, so it can be done in a couple minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously basics. Yeah, okay. I mean, give me a basic site you want me to hack.
Oh,
go to my sandbox.
Yeah, put me on the spot here. I'm not sure. Who do I want to give a free promotion to? Yeah, go to I don't know. Go to a lead pages site or something like that. Maybe use one of theirs, or
I mean, we could totally just stop that. I don't know if I'm actually still logged into my account right now. Yeah, I am. Yeah, so we're just oh cool, I had one that I didn't even use yet on my sandbox. But I mean, this process is pretty similar. You can do this in any platform too. You don't have to use Clickfunnels for this. Let's make an opt-in page. Find the link one. We have so many different templates for this stuff. And sometimes you'll want pages wants me. So let's look up book. Let's just look up this guy here. So we'll just hack this top section here just for sake of time.
Mm-hmm.
But go in here. So this page is still loading. Put everything else out. So I'm going to expand this to full page. So if we look at this page here, we can see it's a full page. Obviously their logo is supposed to be right here, which is not, which is all right. We're going to use the color picker app here. Grab that, pick that color. I'm going to duplicate this guy. I'm going to put a 2-column block here. Oops, not the social. Actually, why not? I'll add social shares on that side since I put it up there. Image. Is this an actual video? It is. All right. Let's see. Logo. I got a 2-column block. So I'm pretty sure these were 2 different sizes. So I'm going to duplicate this guy here. Go back here. How do I move my, there we go. So, and this is Web Inspector. So it tells me it's a sans serif size 36. And this is sans serif size 21, we'll call it. It's going to be white and size 36. Remember the background in this color. This guy here was.
It's really, really interesting for me to see how other people go and do it, and seeing their sets of tools. I have a color tool that I use to put in the whole URL, and then it spits out all of the colors on the page. It's kind of different, a different way of going about it. But that was interesting there. You can just select your tool and then click on the color that you want, and you got your hex code right there available to you. So that was an interesting piece too. What was the name of that? Is it just called Color Picker so that other people can go and get that?
Yeah, so Color Picker, and I've got a whole list of these things.
And what was the other thing that you used there? You said Web Inspector. Was that the name of that one as well?
Yeah, so those are the two ones I use the most.
Okay.
Definitely.
You might want to drop the link in the show notes for those things for anybody watching and wants to do the same thing. Because finding the fonts and finding the colors might be a pain point for somebody who's getting in there and hacking a funnel. So
yeah, and this was actually a lead pages page. If we look at this right now, if you look at the bottom, it says lead. This is a lead box page. So yeah, I mean, I could just drop this in. Yeah. So this is a pretty, this person is obviously using a lead box. But I'll oops. Whoa. That's interesting. All right. Well, at least.
I can't get it.
Yeah, it's all right. I'll get it. That's interesting. So sometimes that's why I use both as well.
So the inspector then, the Web Inspector?
Yeah,
the other
Web Inspector.
So that gives you the color as well.
So, and then sometimes you'll have to, go through and kind of hack the funnel a little bit. So this is FBB13. So, I mean, it's not a perfect science.
Hey, it's better than my old method, which was, take a screenshot of the thing, open it inside of, something like Adobe Photoshop, get out your color selection tool.
I totally used to do that, actually.
Yeah. Exactly. So this at least save you time most of the time, I would imagine.
Yeah, definitely most of the time. Of course, I picked a lead box, which is not the easiest to deal with. The nice thing about Web Inspector too is you can actually use the drop down here. I think Zoom is kind of is doing some kind of overlay on this because it's not.
Yeah. So I mean the software that we're using to record this podcast might be interfering a little bit with the process. So, but that's cool, man. I think, just in what we've seen, we were able to get, 2 really cool tools out of that. And the fact that, you can click through here and do this within a few minutes, at least a section of this here. And I think that's awesome. So, I mean, it's just a demonstration, which, in marketing, demonstrations are probably one of the most powerful ways that you can do marketing for your service. And, you have this, you just demonstrated your ability to go ahead and hack these funnels, and we can direct people to, the fact that you've got this library of funnels as well, of over 300 that have been hacked, and pages like this that have been hacked. You described some of those, and we'll put the link to that in the show notes as well. So you also have a group where you're serving people in that capacity too. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So, there's a ton of groups out there. We have our own group, but we also do a lot of stuff inside of the Clickfunnels group and a couple other groups as well. If somebody asks a question, we're there to answer and to help. And there's no, I'm not going to hold back. I'm not going to be like, oh, well, I can only answer this if you pay me. It kind of doesn't, it doesn't actually work that way, which is interesting. I know a lot of people are like, well, I'll help you if you pay me. We tell people how to do things all day long. Most of the time, what ends up happening is this is just, for other people who are building funnels for people, go out, help, give as much as possible, answer questions. Don't be afraid to answer a question that somebody already answered, even if it's the same exact answer. You have your own twist to it. You have your own way of doing things. If you disagree, that's actually even, that's better too. That's good too, because now you're giving somebody a different option to accomplish the same task. Yeah. So, and doing that gets your name known, gets people to see you, and as a process, and as a result of that, you're going to be able to build credibility, build relationships. And the reality is, people don't want to do this stuff themselves. Right? If they're a coach, or they're a fitness person, or they're a plumber, they're whatever industry they're in, unless they're in marketing, unless that's their job and their passion, they don't want to do it. So give them the knowledge of how to do it, and the reality is they'll come back pretty fast most of the time.
Yeah, I have the knowledge of how to cut my grass, right, and mow the lawn, but I don't want to do it, and it still needs done. And so somebody else gets to receive that pleasure of doing so. But it's just like, when you're out there answering questions and helping people, you have this. A lot of people see it, like you said, as you're doing things for free and you're never going to get paid. But actually, you're building in this reciprocity for people, where they're going to say, this guy's done so much for me. I feel like if I ever can pay or need something to be taken care of, I'm going to this guy because he's helped me so much. And obviously you're showing your expertise along the way. You're at least showing that you know what you're talking about. And yeah, so it's in the world where everybody's trying to sell you the how-to and sell you the knowledge, it may seem like that's the best way forward. But like you said, in actuality, if you could share that knowledge up front, and especially if you're offering a service-based business like most of our listeners are, then that's going to be a better move for you. Kind of like Lead Pages. They're sharing so much how-to stuff out front and kind of using that as a way to draw people in to use the tool, just like we can with the services. So yeah, that's good. Any tips or tricks or strategies for those trying to build a business like this and trying to become successful in what it is that they're doing? How can they get ahead? How can they separate themselves from the crowd, and how can they maybe land more clients? What do you have to give to this audience? I mean, you've given so much already with these tools and the hacking and the advice about the teams. Is there anything else with the icing on the cake?
Yeah, definitely. So two things I've already kind of shared on these, but the first thing is spend all of your free time that you have that you're not working with clients going into other user groups and sharing and answering questions. And in the beginning, a couple months ago, I had literally outsourced everything that I needed to do to other people on our team. And all I did is I went into some groups, I started answering questions, and we have not had a let up in business as a result of that. Right. Didn't cost me a penny in marketing. other than my time. And obviously my time is really valuable, and I know that. At the same time, it's kind of like, you know what, I'm just sharing. So in my belief, if you spend 30 minutes a day going in and giving high quality answers to people in these groups, and pick one or two, you know, and the more time you have, obviously, the more groups you can choose.
Yeah.
But just go in and answer questions, and I believe you could make $100,000 a month easily just by spending 30 minutes a day in each one of these groups.
That's right. I want everybody listening to this to go to my group and start posting everything you know more often. That's the takeaway for that. But no, you're certainly right. I mean, what you just said, zero ad spend on all that, right? So you're able to take your expertise and your time, now that you've got a team to deliver, which was, I think, the important piece of the puzzle, was that you have that team to deliver. You no longer have to spend, 23 hours a day building all this stuff and managing all of that. Now you've got a team to help you deliver that. You can spend that time where that team's never going to, have a break. That team's going to be kept busy. That team's going to be kept fed, and you're going to be kept fed doing what you do, which is, loving to share knowledge and loving to help people and connect with them and be that client-facing sort of individual. So I think that's a great takeaway on its own. Did I cut you off? Or you're about to say something else?
Well, yeah. So and what you shared is definitely true. Having a team helps accelerate that process because you have somebody to deliver on the back end, right?
Yeah.
But even if you don't, I mean, like I said, if you're not working, if you have a business and you're not working at least 8 hours in your business every day, then there's probably something that you need to do in changing that. But the key with it is spend 30 minutes and spend the rest of the day delivering on the services that you already have. And you will not, within a month, you'll have, I mean, obviously you have to charge enough for it, but you can easily make $100,000 in a month. And it's not rocket science. It's really simple to do. And just giving from your heart, sharing, giving all you have. So that's one big thing. The second thing, another thing is don't be afraid to fail, and don't be afraid to mess up, which I think is usually what stops people. So yeah, it's just a big key is creating an environment that allows you to do anything that you want to do and be able to be successful in it. And a lot of that comes just from your heart.
Yeah, man. Great stuff. Where can anybody listening, where can they go and find out more about you?
So you can find out more about me on Facebook. That's one place to do it. You can just ping me on Facebook, Talk Mikado. Be happy to share anything, answer any questions as well. If you want free funnels and you want funnels that you can use for your business and some really high-end funnels that you can add to your own platform, or you can hack yourself, whatever you want to do, you can go to hackthisfunnel.com, and I know you'll have a link in there for them to be able to so you can just scroll down and find the link, and we'll actually if you send it through Chris, then you'll actually get I'll give you guys a special bonus. So you guys will actually get access to the membership for an entire year for free.
Oh, wow.
So
there you go. Free funnels for everybody.
Yeah, free funnels for everybody.
You get a funnel and you get a funnel.
Obviously we have premium packages as well, but you'll get access to the membership for free, which is like a $600 it's like $600 for the year. So I don't know exactly what it is, but it's like $637.25, some random number. But
it's all just made up. We all just really fumble our way through and make it up. But Yeah. So thanks so much. I mean, thanks for the value, the tips on the teams, on the funnel hacking, the resources. It's really been great talking to you. And thank you so much for joining us here today. And can't wait to do this again sometime. We'll stay in touch.
Awesome, man.
Thanks a lot,
Okay.
man. Bye.
You're welcome. Have a blessed day.